Hope everybody had a happy 4th of July. Welcome to the Cellercise program. Summers are generally a little slower, so we're going to do the program tonight and then we'll do another one in a couple weeks. We'll probably take August off and wish everybody a wonderful summer. Tonight we're going to, with Jessica. Jessica, my oldest daughter, beautiful girl. She did her Cellercise routine over 20 years ago, and many of you may have seen it, Cellercise with Jessica. And it's been requested several times that we put a program into the app, so we did that. So we got a good little 11-minute routine that we're going to do, and a little bit later. So if you have your Cellerciser, feel free to join us. It's a good routine. We're going to do little kickouts and whatnot with it as well. But that is on the Mr. Rebounder app. And I wanted to share just something I think is kind of neat. When we're born, we're not born at 1 year. We're born and then we live our first year, and then we have our first birthday, and then we're 1. And then we begin our second year. When we hit our second year, then we're 2, and we begin our third year. What's kind of exciting for me is that in October, I will have finished my 69th year, and I'll be beginning my 70th year. And I look back at all of the things that we've accomplished and everything that Cellercise it entails, and it has been such an incredible, exciting, adventurous experience. Being able to work with everybody in the Cellercise family, being able to work with celebrities and doctors and SWAT teams and universities, and really some renowned men and women in the medical industry. And it's just been a great experience. When I think of when I began in my 30s, mid-30s, Cellercise, or the mini trampoline industry, was pretty much dead. Nobody was doing anything with it. I knew what it had done for me. Other people were seeing what it had done for me. I shared it with all my peers, and my peers would tell me, oh, and some of the adults would tell me, oh, by the time you hit your 40s, you're going to lose, or late 30s, you're going to lose your physique. You can't hold on to it. And then I went through my 40s, and people would say the same thing. Oh yeah, by the time you're in your 40s, you're going to get a little gut, and things are just going to kind of break down. And then I hit my 50s, and people said the same thing. Oh yeah, well, you're not going to have a physique when you're in your 50s, not just from doing Cellercise. And then I went through my 50s, and then I hit my 60s, and people stopped saying that. And they started asking me, what is it you do? How are you doing this? Because Cellercise has had such an incredible, profound result. And my programs and the way that I teach it and the Mr. Rebounder app, those are the things that I do. That's it. So this physique, this body, it's not, I'm not a big bodybuilder or anything, but for my age, and you've all seen this, it's not bad for somebody's, in his, finishing up his 60s and then going to be beginning in his 70s and still running around enjoying a great quality of life. And what's exciting is seeing other people do the same thing. And they've been on this journey with me for quite a period of time. I want to show you this came in today, and I thought it was really kind of exciting. It's all right, this gentleman here. I get to the beginning. There we go. Okay. Oh, what happened to the screen? Okay, hold on one second. You've got to see this. So let's put it back up again. I did test this earlier and everything was working just fine. Okay. Give it a moment. No, I'm going to make sure this thing works. Powering off. Why is it not working again? Okay, we're going to power this back on, which is what I had to do earlier today. Okay, and as this is coming up, I had a lady who was featured in the front cover of Section E of the Seattle Times newspaper on her Cellerciser at 94 years of age. And the Seattle Times did a whole article on her. She sent me a copy of the article. And then we had someone who sent me pictures of their grandmother at 95 years old. And she's bouncing and jogging and doing jumping jacks, which was really kind of neat. Come on. And then we had this one come in today. Why aren't you working? Jeez. And, all right. Now let's do this again. There we go. All right, persistence. Remember, persistence overcomes resistance. All right, so let's play this guy. Justice, everybody can see that all right? Now look at this guy. He's 96. He's 96 years old, and he is enjoying a quality of life most people at that age aren't enjoying. And we can do this. We can start. So many people have started in their 70s, and they're in their 90s now, and they're still enjoying life. All right, so he has something to say. Well, that's exciting for me, because that's the whole purpose of this is, what can we do? Look at that. And that's how we get and maintain our balance and our equilibrium. That's fantastic.
Want me to do it again?
Tell them your routine.
What?
Tell them your routine, how you do it.
I do 100 steps on my right side, 100 steps on my left side, and I do that 4 times. When I get that, I can measure it out, and it's about about a half a mile.
Awesome.
About a half a mile.
And that's my routine.
All right.
So that is great, and I wanted you to see that, because all of us have, I mean, we'll all go through challenges in our health, in our fitness, and even as we get older, our cells don't get old the way that we think. They're always replacing themselves. We can strengthen and improve the efficiency of our cells and body parts and functions at any age, which is why exercise is important. Cellercise just goes beyond typical exercise through the pumping action, the G-forces, the weight-bearing activity that's on everything throughout the entire body. And that's what we want. Okay, so let's read some customer reviews and answer some questions. If you have any questions, please go ahead and write them in. Justice is sitting behind the screen and he can relay those to me. Okay. Oh, couple jokes. All right. So this one says, good reason for a divorce. What do you think, Justice? A woman says to a lawyer, I want to divorce my husband. On what grounds? Grounds? Oh, we have a couple acres outside of town, but it does have a big lawn and some fruit trees, so it's not like empty ground. No, that's not what I meant. Do you have a grudge? Oh, yes, we have a 2-car garage, but only 1 car, so we use the rest for storage. Why? The lawyer, losing his patience, says, does he beat you up? Oh no, I'm up by 6:30 a.m. He does not get up until after I leave for work. Why do you want a divorce? Well, we just can't seem to communicate. Oh, that's cute. Anyway, all right, the wisdom of an older man. An older man approached an attractive younger woman at a shopping mall. Excuse me, I can't seem to find my wife. Can you talk to me for a couple minutes? The woman, feeling a bit of compassion for the old fellow, said, well, of course, sir. Do you know where your wife might be? Well, I have no idea, but every time I talk to a pretty woman, she seems to show up. So, all right.
Dad,
Yes.
you might want to hear this, but
Yeah.
Laura says, my 60-something yoga Pilates instructor bought a Cellerciser for her husband based on my recommendation and is very impressed.
Very impressed. Oh, good. Well, we're going to thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Pilates instructors. We've had a lot of Pilates instructors and yoga instructors and martial artists because Cellercise creates a balance in the body that helps you do better and perform better in your other activities. And that's a fact. All right. Okay. The Jessica routine is now available. That was a comment, so we'll do that in just a few minutes. And again, for those who are just tuning in a little bit later, my daughter Jessica, we have video of her when we were just early in Cellercise, and she was just like that tall, bouncing up and down. We'll get a video of that. I'd like to share some information with you soon. She's now 40. It's hard to believe she's 40. It's hard to believe how old I am. Okay. Yeah.
Ivana says, is baby bouncing okay to do with a torn meniscus?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, if you want to do it gently, but if you have, and again, I don't want that to sound like medical advice, so consult with your doctor or health practitioner. But what I did when I tore my meniscus horribly is I got a knee wrap for some support. And then I just, very gentle, doctors know bones and muscles heal faster and grow stronger when exposed to some stress. That's the idea behind the walking cast. So when you injure a ligament or tendon in the knees, when I did, I wrapped my knee. I got one of those knee wraps, and then I just bounced up and down. I did the baby bounce because the movement up and down helps to increase circulation. It's weight bearing. It's on all the tissue, all the fibers. You can do different movements, but initially it was just the baby bounce because I'm not using a lot of the knee, but I am increasing circulation. And I'm still challenging those ligaments and tendons at the cellular level. So they're all expanding, contracting. Then it was simply side to side. And as you're rocking side to side, you're working hips, thighs, lateral knee, both sides of the knee. Eventually, then it was the front part of the knee, building it up again. And then eventually, don't start off with these, but then it was jumping side to side for the hips, the thighs, and the knees. And then it was basically what we call now the ski patrol. And ligaments and tendons can take time. They're not like muscles. They can take longer to heal. And you want to give them that time. But keep in touch. Let me know if I can help you. If you notice something, you have any questions, by all means, give me a call. Yes, Justice.
Laura says, is the strength training routine on the Mr. Rebounder app really equivalent to doing strength training at the gym?
Totally different. It's working from the inside out. Go to the gym, you're working from the outside in. So generally speaking, when I lift weight away from gravity, it limits the effect just to the muscle doing the lifting. But when you Cellercise, it's not weight lifting, it's weight bearing. It's not just on this muscle, it's on every cell over 100 times a minute. That's every muscle, bone, connective tissue, ligament, tendon, skin, even the blood cells strengthen their cell membrane because they don't want to rupture. The whole body starts to lift, tighten, tone, and strengthen from the inside out. Fascia. You don't generally get to any fascia at a gym, but the Cellerciser does. But you're doing so much more. So yeah, you're not going to get big, bulky muscles, but we're the only species in the world that's ever bought into that anyway. Nothing wrong with it. It's more of a sport, but when you tear down to build up, you're never going to see a dog, cat, monkey, or any other species of animal doing that. We've learned how to manipulate the body, and we can. But if you take it to extremes, you lose flexibility, timing, speed, coordination. You can compromise ligaments and tendons and other areas of the body. Cellercise is much gentler, but extremely efficient and effective because it's still weight bearing. We just don't limit the effect. Yes, Justice.
Ivana says, what if the meniscus is worn down?
What if the meniscus is worn down? Consult with your doctor, health practitioner, see what can be done. I know they've got different protocols, but I don't have that kind of advice. I just know how we can strengthen and target the supporting muscles and ligaments to build them up so we have better support. Yes, Justice.
John says, I had a torn Achilles tendon in February of 2024, and I feel I am back to about 90% healed. I don't have any pain. What exercises would you recommend I do?
Okay, for working on the Achilles and the tendons in the foot, again, if you're just lifting the heels up and down gently, just lifting the heels, you're working the arch of your foot. If you push down with your toes, you can be working circulation, helping with the nerves. If you have celly soles or soft-soled slippers or socks or barefoot, you can spread those toes a little bit as you're pushing down. That can take pressure off of nerves to help increase that circulation. But Achilles tendon is just, you can still get those support for the ankle and around the tendon. Check with your doctor or health practitioner if you have any limitations, but movement like this can be very, very helpful. Pushing down with the heel so you get a little bit of stretch in the foot can be helpful. Most everything you're doing on the Cellerciser and the movements are causing the foot to move to support your natural alignment. So you're going to be working over half of your bones are in your foot, your ligaments, your tendons, the fascia, everything is going to be constantly working. And that's how we promote healing, is we work on those areas, but we do it in a gentle way. Fortunately, Cellercise is not like going out and pounding the surface or a hard surface at all. The Cellerciser, the springs absorb the jarring, not your body, and that's important. Any other questions, Justice? Thank you for the questions.
No, Mary just said, my spine has bone grafting and rods pins. I will never be up to both feet in the air, but the results are incredible just from gentle walks, rocks, and that low knee contact and jogging.
Okay, read that one more time. A little bit.
Mary says, my spine has bone grafting and rods and pins.
Oh yeah.
I will never be up to both feet in the air, but the results are incredible just from gentle walk, rocks, and low knee contact. Good.
So she's getting good results even with some of the medical issues and conditions that she's had to work with in her back, and that's what we want. You don't have to do crazy things. I've done pretty much the same movements throughout my whole experience with Cellercise. When I came out with the Mr. Rebounder app, I do like to now turn on the app and watch a show and then follow the app because it dings in between each movement and I can enjoy the show. And sometimes I'll do longer routines because the show still goes on and it's not as intense as I was doing it, 8 years ago. All right. Rocio writes, I can do 48 minutes now. I feel so good. I am painless. Inflammation has decreased. My lymphedema is gone down my legs. My legs are smoother. My buffalo hump is also going just amazing. Horacio, thank you. Appreciate that. And yes, those are great. When we stand on a Cellerciser, unlike typical exercise, we can really work on our posture and the supporting muscles and ligaments around the back. So lifting our chest high, rolling our shoulders back a little bit, pulling our chin in, and then bouncing so that the muscles flex around that proper alignment. And it just takes a little bit of time. Yes, Justice.
Lars says, I love bouncing on my Cellerciser and I feel great at 70, but my bone density
Thanks,
test
Laura.
DEXA scan did not show any improvement this year. I have mild
Scoliosis.
mild
Oh, osteoporosis. Okay. Osteoporosis. Osteopenia. Okay.
Osteopenia. Have you any
Osteopenia.
suggestions onto how to improve my bone density? I have been bouncing 15 to 20 minutes daily.
Yeah, making sure that you have good minerals in your diet. When you apply weight, you do a weight-bearing exercise, and you have the proper minerals in our diet, the calcium and the magnesium and their supplements that some are better than others, then the body won't utilize those minerals unless we give it a need to do so. And the moving up and down is weight-bearing. And so the bones are alive. They're constantly replacing themselves. So as long as we're Cellercising and we're taking the proper supplements, it can continue to replenish the bone. It can take time, but yeah, it's important to have the minerals in our diet as well. All right, Clissa writes, we bought this rebounder years ago in Portland at a health and wellness fair. It also helps with balance. We've been down here in Arizona now for 30 years. Thank you, Clista, for sharing. Janice writes, that's a new one. I have myasthenia gravis. I too started at 2 minutes baby bounce. I'm still not flying around like Dave, but I'm consistently doing 10 minutes in the morning, and now my heart rate doesn't go up as high. So I'm upping the ante and adding intensity, and I can do 10 minutes twice a day. Do get a Cellerciser. No matter what else you do for fitness, do this. All capitalized.
Mary?
Huh?
Is that Mary Watts?
Janice. It was Janice. Very good. And Tom writes, Happy 4th. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. He's quoting Zig Ziglar. Another way to express this, one day or day one, rebound. To start anew, overcome, revive, rejuvenate, return, make a comeback, regain one's health. Choose your what and why, then choose your when. And thank you, Tom. I love that. That's good enthusiasm. And on the Mr. Rebounder app, you can tell it when to notify you on a daily basis. So there's actually a schedule, and you can pick from the various different chimes so that it will call you up and say, hey, did you Cellercise today? Just as a reminder until you really get into the habit. Beautiful writes, absolutely love my Cellerciser 4 hearts, and I'm grateful to you. Thank you. All right. Okay, so let's read some questions. I have read that seniors should do body squats, planks, bridges. What can we do on a Cellerciser instead? Well, just the routines that I teach. You can create leverage on a Cellerciser simply, it's all weight bearing, so it's working from the inside out. But if you want to jog and really target, you can leverage your own body weight. And you can't do that on the ground because you'd hurt your back. But on a Cellerciser, it eliminates up to 7/8 of the ballistic impact or jar. So you eliminate the jar, but you still have the resistance. And so just jogging in place, lifting the knees up is great for the core, but tilting backwards slightly or doing the kickouts leverages a lot more weight from that underneath your chin all the way down. And then you've seen me do the squat movements where You can lean forward. I love those. I think they're so phenomenal where you just lean forward and jump up, come down, jump up, down. And for a squat, those open up the knee. They open up the strength of the knee. They're fantastic. Okay. Helen writes, I'd love to try your rebounder first and see how it compares to a few others I'm trying out. Any options for that? Helen, we offer a 30-day, but continue to do your research. Look at what the customer reviews on our website say. Know that the Cellerciser, it's not like those other units out there on the market. The reason this costs more, as many of you know, it lasts. My personal unit's over 22 years old. I use it, we travel with it. It's our unit, and I've never replaced the spring or the mat. That's one of the reasons it costs more. The mat material will not stretch out. You can leave it out in the sun, the rain, the snow. That's fine. It's UV resistant. The steel in our springs are unlike the steel in the springs of any other unit on the market. We use patented technology. This thing is designed to give you results for fitness. It's not too soft. It doesn't cause a pronation that you can get on other units. I had a gentleman call me yesterday. He'd been using a bungee cord for quite a period of time, and he's noticing how his knees are getting worse and worse and feeling worse and worse. And he's attributing it to the pronation that is being caused because the unit's too soft in the middle. And so he ended up getting a Cellerciser. And we've heard this time and time and time again. It's very important to have good support under your feet, especially if you're going to do different movements. You don't want your foot to roll on you. You don't want your knee to be leveraged against the joint in a way that's going to compromise your health. Have to have good support. Cellercise has been around a long time, and it gives good support. I've been using it a long time, and I can't imagine life without it. Okay. Monica writes, I have purchased a Cellerciser and I'm wondering if I should get the shoes. I have bad feet that pronate severely and have worn out the tendons in one foot. I don't know if I should wear my shoes with custom orthotics or buy the Cellerciser shoes. You know, these Celli soles is what we call them. They're very comfortable. I wear them all the time. But they have nice arch support. I don't know if you can see that. It's got the arch support. It wraps all around the foot. It is extremely flexible. It feels so comfortable. I go hiking and running. I wear them all the time wherever I go. I've got these things on because they have a wide toe base, so your toes can spread, especially while you're Cellercising, take pressure off of the nerves and help the tendons to align. And then we do different exercises. This will move with your foot, but it feels really, really nice underneath. Yes, Justice.
Laura says, to clarify, if I do the strength training routine on the Mr. Rebounder app, does that mean I can tell my doctor with confidence that I am doing strength training and do all of the routines also help with strength training even if they are aerobics?
Absolutely. Cellercise is weight bearing, not weight lifting. It's absolutely strength enhancing. No question. The things that I've been able to do and still can do all through Cellercise. We teach programs specifically for building up the strength in the shoulders and in the chest and in the stomach and the buttocks and then the thighs and legs, and as well as the supporting muscles and ligaments. So the back of the arms, the back itself, the buttocks, I think I said that, but calf muscles, which are very important. So yes, Cellercise just doesn't treat the body as parts. That's a big difference. It treats literally the body as a whole. Even if you want to focus on parts, which you can do by focusing on different muscle groups or leveraging your body weight, the rest of the body is always involved. That's different from typical exercise. Calisthenics, first of all, she has a question about aerobics. This is far, far more than aerobics. Okay, it's weight bearing. So it's isotonic for building, it's isometric for toning. When you alter the angle of your body in different positions, everything tenses up. You're going to hold that position while you're bouncing. That's isometric tones, isotonic builds. It's weight bearing for isotonics. It's calisthenic for targeting. You can target different areas of your body, but again, while you're doing it, the rest of the body is still involved. So if I'm working on my waist, you know, if you don't work on those love handles, and I'm kicking out side to side, that's fine. Every time I come down, I'm leveraging the weight right here. That's a lot more intense than simply doing something like this. You're coming down with a lot more weight, and you're not limiting the effect here. Your whole body is still involved, from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of the foot, without jarring, without hitting a hard surface, without damaging your joints, or shattering your nervous system, or creating stress or tension in the body that restricts that circulation. Cellercise opens the body up. Weightless, weightless weight, weightless weight, over and over on every cell throughout everything, everywhere. I don't know of any other exercise that can claim that. Isometric for toning, isotonic for building, calisthenic for targeting, aerobic for conditioning, and flexibility, all as part of the same routine. When I often have people start off Cellercise, say, go down and touch your toes. So I have them bend over to touch their toes. And then we get them on the Cellerciser. And after a routine on the Cellerciser, I ask them to do it again. And they go down quite a bit more. And that's, every cell membrane is being massaged. So good question, so thank you. Will Cellercise help reduce neuropathy issues in my feet? Could you demonstrate some movements for this? From Hope, and thank you, Hope. We have had people who have called and told me that about 20 minutes of Cellercising and they notice a difference. So standing on the Cellerciser, as you're lifting the heels up and down, I know I've got my black Sully soles on, but I'm lifting the heels up and down. And as I come down, I try to create a little bit of resistance before I hit the mat. I try to slow down and I put more pressure on the toes. So the toes are kind of pushing down into the mat. As I move up and down, as I'm pushing those toes into the mat, I'm working those ligaments and those tendons and that circulation more. And that's a big part of the problem, is circulation. Cellercise pumps circulation. The weakest area of circulation is in the lower extremities because, again, it's the furthest area from the heart. So we're moving up and down, we're pumping with the heart. And we're working those ligaments, those tendons, and those muscles a little bit. You don't do it a lot, but do it enough so you can feel a little bit of that. And that starts to strengthen it. Oh, Cindy writes, what exercise on Cellercise is good for knees, bone on bone? Can you demonstrate them? And Cindy, that's a good question. You know, it varies. We've had people that have had incredible results from Cellercise, and sometimes it takes time. It can take time. But we want to strengthen the supporting muscles and ligaments around the joint. Skeletal system can't support itself. Knee problems, hip problems, back problems, shoulder problems, you've all heard me say this before, neck problems, are generally the same issue. It's either weaknesses or injury in the supporting muscles and ligaments around the joint. So we target the supporting muscles and ligaments around the joint. Working with a chiropractor can be very helpful too. Massage therapists can be helpful as well. But we want to strengthen those supporting muscles and ligaments so we can retain the fluid in between the joints. Now, Cellercise creates a pumping action to move fluid anyway, but just gently moving up and down, good way to warm up the tissue, get the circulation going, priming the lymphatic system. Very important, holds a negative pressure, creates suction, so we get millions of one-way valves starting to suck and pull that circulation between the bones and joints. And then the Jamba walk. That's just spreading the feet apart, pushing down into the mat. You're not lifting your feet up off the mat, but it's all being done with all the supporting muscles, ligaments in the front of the knee. If you have a weakness, chances are you're going to feel that. But this isn't jarring. It's not hitting a hard surface. It's gentle, but it is targeting the supporting muscles and ligaments in those joints. Rocking side to side, the hip rock for the hips, the waist, the thighs, and the knees. That's a great way to work the lateral knee. And there's not a lot of exercises that will do that. Yes, Justice?
Laura says, I have bunions and hammer toes and ankles that pronate. Which of your rebounder shoes would be more appropriate for me to buy? You have two options on your website.
Yeah, I go for the dark ones because they've got more support throughout the arch, which you don't get with the white ones. They don't have that same kind of support. And then, we talked about this, I think last time, get some little spacers to put in between your toes and then bounce so that the ligaments and tendons can help realign themselves and become stronger in a more aligned position. And you can wear the Cellercises for comfort because they're just squishy. It's kind of like walking on a cloud. It's got to experience it. But we do have those available. I made those available for the Cellercise family. We may or may not continue to do it. But I just loved them so much for myself. I had, 12 or 20 pair that I bought for me before we ever negotiated with the manufacturer to produce our own. I did not want to be without these. These things are incredible. Climb up and down rocks and run in the water, the sand, the beach, whatever. I just really like them. So the following year I got them for every one of my family members and kids, and they've got their Cellercises. And then the year after that I said, nah, these are too good. Let's make them available for our Cellercise family. So I went out on a limb to do that because I think they're worth it. I think they're going to be a part of the future in footwear, but that's my personal thought. All right. John writes, can you share some benefits of laughing while Cellercising? Oh gosh. I'm going to come back to really answer that more next time because laughing does so much. And when you Cellercise, you look at kids. It's instinctive. Baby or young kids get out of the crib and they're bouncing up and down the crib and they get out and they're jumping on a couch or they're jumping on a bed or they're just jumping up and down off the ground. And I don't see many of them that are upset when they're bouncing up and down. It helps to release stress and tension, increase circulation, probably stimulates endorphins. But the movement up and down is stress reduction. You look at a baby when they're fussy, and a parent takes a baby anywhere in the world, put them over their shoulder, and they're bouncing them up and down, and the baby relaxes. So yes, I think laughter is good medicine, and doing it on the Cellerciser, I think, can leave a stronger impression on your nervous system and your brain activity as you're doing that. So yeah, I guess I should read those jokes while I'm Cellercising, but watching something, a comedy, a show, it helps improve the immune system. It helps relieve the stress. You're not in a fight or flight mode as much. You're more dealing with proactively with things that are good, and you think better, you feel better, the body performs better. So it's a good question, but I did find something years ago about laughter and what it does to the body, and I like that, and I did save it somewhere, so I'll look to find that for next time. All right, let's yes.
Anne says, how can I work my lower stomach area?
Oh, easy. Okay, well, first of all, how do I work my lower stomach area? Just lifting your knees up and down is still going to work the core. When you tighten these muscles and then jog and you hold these muscles tight, you'll start to feel that. I mean, that's intense. Kicking out and leveraging your body weight, that is absolutely going to work from here all the way up and underneath your chin. So these are good movements. Now, if those are a little advanced for you, then you can do the sit and balance. And I show those on the Mr. Rebounder app as well. And we have, in fact, I don't know if you can see that or not, but she's doing one of the more advanced movements. But we start off, just put your feet on the ground, sit and bounce. And it's just like this. That's all being done with the lower abdomen. When you tilt backwards a little bit, it's more intense. You're going to feel that more. When you lift the leg up, you leverage more weight right there in the lower abdominals where everybody wants to work. And then we do graduated movements from there. So, good question. All right. Let's go to Jessica's program. We just added this to the app. We added the routine we did a couple weeks ago to the app. Then we added Jessica's routine to the app. So we're going to continue to advance this app. We're working on some new features right now. And for most of the summer, it's still on sale. The Cellercise, MrRebounder.com, MR, no period, just MR, REBOUNDER.com. And you can watch a demonstration of the app, see more about its features, and it's very inexpensive. We did that on purpose. So it's we've got over 45 routines, probably close to 50 now, for beginning, intermediate, advanced, and seniors, and a library of 65 movements. You can create your own routines. If you get in on it at the current special, right now it's just $49.95 for a year. That's a little over $4 a month to have access to all these different routines. And you're grandfathered. If you get in on it at the discount price, your cost will never go up for as long as you maintain a subscription. So when the cost goes back up, yours won't. And that's a way of saying, hey, we're all in this together. Let's have fun. And what I do normally is I have the app playing on, we have a phone holder that fits right here. And you can put the phone holder right over the bar, clip the phone, then I'm watching a show. It will ding in between each movement. So I don't have to listen to the music. I just bounce up and down. And that you're enjoying the show, ding, look down, next movement. Watch the show, ding, next movement. Watch the show, the time flies by. Just flies by, you're enjoying the show. But for tonight's presentation, I don't have a television program on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick Jessica's routine. And many of you may have seen this. If you do a search on YouTube, you can find her. But she grew up on a Cellerciser too. All right, so she's still in great shape. She's a beautiful girl. All right, so let's, I'm going to show you one more feature, which I have, is when I go to, we have what's called the, and many of you know this, the wireless module. It's a module that has a built-in oscillator. You can attach it to the bottom of the mat. And when you turn it on, it interfaces with the app. So it will count the number of bounces, the number of calories burned. It has an intensity meter, and it gives you the amount of time for each movement and lets you know what's coming next. So it's just kind of a neat little device that we have. When we attach it underneath to the unit, we just have a little button right on top, so it fits to the side. And where is mine? Black on black, it's hard to see. There you are. Okay, so it has a little clip, which is right here, and then you just push that little button on top, and the light will go from red to green, and now you're ready to connect to the app. So then you go to your settings and, go to that settings. Yeah, there it is. Disconnect. Okay, connect your device. It's disconnected. So let's see if I just push the button again. It should connect. I just had to hit connect, and so now it's connected to the Bluetooth device. I'm going to go back, and then we go to the advanced section. I go to Jessica's routine, and then this little button on top to the top right, you can't really see it, but there's a little pin button area right there that, well, you can pick any number of background images as well. So I'm going to start this, turn down the music. Wow. Okay, so we're doing the baby bounce, health bounce, and it tells you when you have the little guy there, you've got the 2 minutes of the baby bounce, health bounce, and then as I get on this, I start to bounce up and down. You see the intensity meter go up, and then it counts the number of bounces per minute and the number of calories burned. Now this, according to Dr. Paul E. DeBoer, an MD who did the study, trampolining can burn calories 11 times faster than walking, 5 times faster than swimming, and 3 times faster than running. The G forces that you're having on the body, you're not just lifting weight away from gravity, you also have the benefit of acceleration, deceleration, and gravity. So you've got 3 forces, three weight-bearing forces working on the body all at the same time. And again, that's what makes it so efficient. Okay, and as you're gently bouncing up and down, remember to tighten your stomach wall. You can increase circulation to that area of the body. Nothing wrong with that. That just brings more blood to the surface and then helps increase, again, circulation. And then as you're tightening that, you can lift your chest up, roll your shoulders back a little bit, keep your chin down, but pull in slightly. So you're exercising your proper alignment. Move your feet so that they're parallel. And that helps strengthen the alignment as well. You're lifting the heels up and down, kind of resist coming down a little bit. Okay, this is an advanced movement. You can hold on to the balance bar if you want, but this is just a glorified jumping jack. Keeps me a little more centered, works the shoulders, the back, and the buttocks. If you want to know how well it works the buttocks, just put your hand back there and feel those muscles flexing. Okay, moderate sprint. Now you can go faster if you want. You can challenge yourself as much as you choose. You can imagine if you're watching a show, you're enjoying the show until it dings. And then ding. Okay, now it's fast. Okay, 120. That's okay. Baby bounce, breathe. Twist. Digestion, elimination. Liver, kidneys, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals, lower back, hips as well. You can go at your own pace with Cellercise. This is a great program, but if it's too intense, just slow down. This is a stomach run. You tilt backwards a little bit, and it leverages your body weight right against the abdominals. "15 seconds. Tighten your stomach while you're doing this if you can. And then ding, side kick, side to side. That's how we target the hips and the waist. And again, you've got beginning, intermediate, this is advanced, senior, different programs. And these are just a small number of the movements that we have. The advanced section. Now we're going with the buttocks again. And the back. So this is buttocks and back. And if you want more advanced, you can do it this way. But don't do that unless you're comfortable. Frankly, you can hold on to this. Lean forward a little more. Don't put a lot of weight on the bar. Just alter the angle of your body some, and it leverages more weight to the buttocks and the back. Okay, hip rock. It says rock left to right. Now if you take your fingers and you put them directly underneath the hip bone, you're going to feel all those muscles working in the hip. You're increasing circulation and strength. It can take time if you have a hip issue, but it can be really helpful too. Baby bounce, health bounce. Okay, we're doing this for 2 minutes. So in that course of 2 minutes. As you're pushing down, use your toes. Push down into the mat with the toes as well. And as you do that, you work the muscles and ligaments in the toes. But that can, over time, help improve circulation. And that's so important in that area. Keeping the chest tall, shoulders back a little bit, chin pulled in. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Keep the feet about shoulder distance, pointed straight ahead, so the hip joint and the knees are all in alignment. He's doing it wrong. He's got his feet pointed out like ballet. Nothing wrong with that. It's just keeping and strengthening the proper alignment is something that we want to do too. But if you're in ballet, this can help you with your balance, your strength, and your flexibility also. We have lots of trainers that incorporate Cellercise within their program because it helps to improve the effectiveness of what they're teaching. And when you exercise in a balanced state, you become stronger in a balanced state. When you alter the angle of your body in exercise, you become stronger in altered positions as well. So that was Jessica's routine. Thank you, Jessica. And thank you all for being here, for wonderful. Several of you have had some really great comments and great questions. I want to thank you for that. If you feel that this program is beneficial, helpful to others, please share it. We appreciate that. Have a great 2 weeks. Call me if I can be of any help. Thank you for participating, be a part of this. And remember, you don't have to work out. You can, when you can play in. Really, this does work. And it's doing it at the cellular level. And one thing, if you want to try this, you get on that Cellerciser, take your fingers and grab your shoulder muscles or your deltoids and then bounce up and down and feel those muscles working. They have to resist that weight, which means they get stronger. There's not weightlifting, but definitely weight bearing. Thank you. Be well. God bless. And thank you for being a difference and making a difference. Appreciate you. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.